Hey guys, how's it going? Here's my weekly lesson video. Sorry I missed last week. I'm gonna actually make today's lessons video twice as long to make up for last week. I started a new job last week and yeah, just kind of lost track of time, and by the time I realized I didn't post a lesson video, it was like Sunday, Monday already, so I just decided just to wait until this week. So sorry for those of you guys that have waited, but I'm here now, so here's a little bit of a longer lesson video. I'm going to do it about 20 minutes today instead of the usual 10, which is what I go for my weekly lesson videos. But anyways, please subscribe. For those of you that are new, the subscribe button is in the bottom right-hand corner, and the numbers are looking good. I'm continuously getting more subscribers, so thank you guys that have subscribed recently and those that have continued to stick along since the beginning. I really appreciate it. I'm still working on my Patreon page. I mean, I don't really have an exact timeline for when I'm going to be done that, so I'm just kind of working on it in my spare time in between schoolwork and teaching lessons and regular work and whatnot. But anyways, guys, thank you for those of you that have stuck along, and let's get into today's lesson video. So today's lesson video, we're actually going to go over the Derek Trucks band tune YOUNK Funk, which this was a request I had a while ago from a student. So we're actually just going to spend a moment just listening to the tune. Alright, so I actually don't think I'm going to do a reaction video to this. I'm sure you guys have all heard the tune before, so I'm just going to go through it from the beginning. So alright, so what's going on there? So normally when chords are built, they're built in let me just make sure I'm positioned right for my other. Oh yeah, I'm in. Just making sure I was sitting in the right position for my other camera. I couldn't tell if I shifted a little bit and if that messed it up, but I'm looking all right. So, but anyways, so normally when chords are built, we stack them in thirds, and this track actually goes about it two different ways. The first way is in the beginning here. We have this little guy right here. And what we have here is a stack of a second and then a sixth. So in terms of notes, we have F sharp, G, E. And before you even get further along in the tune, you should start making some hypothetical guesses on what key we're pulling this out of. I mean, once we play a couple more chord shapes and figure those out, it'll become more clear. But just the fact that it's F sharp, G, and E gives me a pretty good hint that we're in the key of G or E minor. And the reason why I say that is F sharp would be the major 7 of G, which is an important chord tone. It's also the 9 of E minor. We have G, which is the flat third of E minor and the root of G major, so two important chord tones belong to both those relative keys. And then we have E, which would be the root of E minor and the 6 of G, and that's still an important chord tone for G, because often when you're playing 7 chords, you can replace them with 6 chords. So if you're playing G7, a common substitution for that would just be playing G6, both harmonically function. I mean, they're both basically saying the same thing, just slightly different color from one another. So anyways, yeah, we have F sharp, G, and E. So if you go from, if you go through the scale, let's take it from G major. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. F sharp to G, or you could do it on one string if you want to visualize it that way. F sharp to G is a interval of a minor second. So just those two notes together is really dissonant, but adds some cool color. And then from G to cool way to figure out intervals and to see the actual distance, because that's really how I think of intervals, is the distance between two notes. So going from G to E is a pretty large gap. That's a sixth right there. Most singers find, going from a root to a fifth is a large leap. So going from a first to a sixth is definitely a large leap in itself. So that would be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 frets away. So in terms of guitar, fretboard knowledge, your major 6 is always going to be 9 frets away from your starting point. So anyways, we have a root of an interval of a second between F sharp and G, and then G and E. And based on what I'm hearing, and this is not my first time playing through this, I've been actually doing this for one of my Berklee finals. My professor has been helping me analyze this tune. It's been a huge help, just because harmonically it is one more of the advanced tunes I've tackled, and definitely less familiar with the style. But anyways, we're doing F sharp, G, E, and kind of the first thought I would have as I'm figuring this out is to take this stack and run it through the E minor scale. And the only difference is you're gonna have to modify it from a minor second to a major second in some cases, and then the major 6 to a minor 6 in some cases. So if we go down here, this is actually the exact example of it. If we take that same exact stack and we run it through the G major / E minor scale, we get D, F sharp. E, F sharp, D. So just taking that shape and just lowering it each by one scale tone. So E, F sharp, D. So now we have an interval of a major second, and then between D and F sharp, and then between F sharp and D, we have an interval of a minor 6. So that's one way it can flip immediately right there. So far we have, and then the next part would be, so that's D, E, C. So still the same interval stack, and I'm just gonna play again. Yeah, so. Alright, so that last stack right there is D, E, C. And so far we have. And then this next stack, let me just double check my math. Yeah, we break the pattern. And we're going C, D, A. So that's a stack of a minor second and then a perfect fifth. So we're going from a second to a fifth. And taking that shape and moving up 2 frets. So going to D, E, E. So far what we have is just that Quartal harmony definitely gives you some like out there jazz vibes. Can definitely give you hints of some Eastern sounds right there. Just that sound of the force right there is pretty. Well, it's actually not even force, but what would this be? Let's see. Well, anyways, yeah, it's just a stack of a second and a fifth right there. Then the next part would be. So what we're doing there is we're actually switching the gear to more Quartal type harmony. So this chord right here is C, F, B. So let me just play that. So those two chords right there. So what we're doing there is we're switching Quartal harmony. Can't speak. So we're going from C to F to B. So on 3rd string 4th fret, 2nd string 6th fret. first string 7th fret, and that's the note C, F, B. And where we are pulling that from is the D Dorian scale, or C major, but tonally we're thinking of D. So if you take the D Dorian scale, which is just the naturally occurring notes, so D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, and you stack those notes in fourths starting from C, C to F, and then F to B, you get these type of inversions right here. So we're going from this. So just going down the scale in quartal harmony. So B, so again, you know, that's just stacks of fourths right there. And how you can start practicing this stuff is just take a stack of fourths and just run it through a scale. So in this case, the C major scale, or D Dorian. So we're going. So that'd be like everything right there. First inversion. As far as, you know, doing first inversion. But so far, what we have for the tunes. Okay. Then we have, just gotta double check on this part. That's what's going on. Yep, so right here we're just continuing stacking the chords in fourths, so starting at A, D, G, so 4th fret, I mean 4th string, 5th fret, 3rd string, 6th fret, 2nd string, 8th fret, and we're just taking that shape, bumping it up to the 10th fret, using my index finger as the guide. And I'm going, so plucking and sliding and plucking again. Then doing a backward slide and plucking the next chord again. So going, let me try that. And so pluck, slide, pluck, slide, pluck. Then, so you're basically connecting each chord with a slide. So just going. And then those last two chords are starting on the 5th string, 3rd fret. So that's D. And then we have G sharp slash A flat and C sharp. And essentially what that is right there is just a D diminished that we're stacking in fourths right there. So, which is a cool sound. Step outside the tune, you could use this as a substitution for a diminished 7 chord and just leave that in the 3rd. And it would still function the same, so very cool. But anyways, we're going from, so taking that shape and sliding from the 3rd to the 6th fret. So the entire intro part is, or I'll do the last part of the intro and then I'll play it all together. It'd be, there's actually just one slide. I just want to make sure I'm going right. Okay. So we're going. So slide, then just pick each of those straight. So again, it would be. Yep. So it's actually plug, slide, plug, and then going down here without sliding, slide down, which implies that we're sliding down to this chord right here. So it's kind of an illusion. We're not actually taking that chord and sliding down to it. We're just taking the previous chord and sliding down, which creates the illusion of some chord sliding down, resolving to this next chord, which would be this. So far we have, and then finally, so that part right there. So right there, we're, again, fourths, G to C. And I'm doing that on the 4th string 3rd fret, then 3rd string 4th fret. So we're going. So plucking 3rd fret there, then sliding from the 4th to the 5th, and then plucking the 4th, and then doing a slide from the 4th. So that part would be. Let me just make sure I'm getting those slides right. All right, so it sounds like to me he's going. So we're going pluck. Then pluck sliding from the 4th fret, sliding to the 5th, then plucking the 4th, and then plucking the 3rd, and doing a slide to the 4th and a slide back to the 3rd. So we have. Okay, so how am I doing on time? Pretty good. Awesome. So let me just do a review of what we have so far. So far we have. All right, and as far as digging more into the tune, I would just focus on mapping out some Quartal harmonies this week, or Quartal chords. I always suggest when you're learning these tunes, you know, we want to transcribe our players and like learn from them that way, but we also want to make little exercises based on what we're learning. And you gotta think, like when Derek was practicing this stuff, he probably just didn't explore these exact chord shapes. You know, I think he would have taken the more comprehensive approach and, you know, tried every combination on all the strings. So just going. So what you can try this week is, yeah, map out all the Quartal chords in the harmony. So going. Also try inverting it. So essentially what you can do is just take the top note and lower an octave. Do the same thing. And then you can do third inversion. So essentially just taking there you go, yeah. So it's been a while since I've actually practiced all this. And that's one cool thing I learned is that I used to play these Quartal chords as 4-part chords, but then I had a teacher explain to me that due to the nature of how the intervals are stacked, it's really hard to invert the chords. So he suggested trying them as triads and inverting them that way. And it's cool the sounds you can get, and you can hear it all over Derek's playing. And you know, he borrows that from a lot of the 60s modal stuff. And yeah, so I will continue on with the song next week. I hope I did a good job explaining all of it. You know, I'm still figuring out along the way myself. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for liking and watching the video. I will see you guys next week. And subscribe if you haven't already. And take it easy.